That's hilarious. Oh
You
my
did.
god. You guys, they farted in this episode.
They did, man. It's terrible.
Oh my god. I thought Flip was playing with me for a sec. He told me, he's like, hey, there's a fart scene in the middle of the Vader Obi-Wan fight when he's saying, like, Anakin, Vader didn't kill him or whatever. Or, Anakin, you didn't kill Anakin, I did. Oh my god, dude, there's like a fart noise in the middle of him saying Anakin.
Right, he goes, Anakin, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, it's right then. He goes, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. And he's got that mischievous face looking out the thing like he just farted.
You gotta turn the volume up if you don't hear it the first time. What time stamp was that at, you said?
Right at 25:21. That's where the scene is. Perfect. That's a good place to start. Maybe 25:20 might be a better place.
25:20. Yeah, that I like the first time I played that, like as he said that, I didn't hear that, but then no, I did. There was a fart sound as he says, Anakin. What?
You didn't kill Anakin Scott. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, what kind of production is this? I
don't know. That was funny. That's a funny way to start this, I guess. With where we're going. This was the Kenobi finale. Here. What's up, Starface? Yeah, shit show is a good choice of words, I would say, for it.
Hold on.
Right now.
I'll leave it. Sorry, I've got my daughter bringing me laundry and stuff.
No, you're good. But yeah, so it's like I would say that this episode, a lot of people are probably going to like. I know it's a fact. A lot of people are going to like this episode, or at least think that it's better than the ones that we've gotten in the show, which I can see why some people would think that. Yeah. I think that as far as like just moments in the episode, there's some moments that are better than the rest of the show, but that's not saying much because a lot of this was horrible as well.
Mm-hmm. If you just, okay, so they're not focused on obviously Luke, which they should have been. It's like at the end of it, they're like, oh, you know what we should do for the last episode? We should include Luke in the action sequence
and have him do nothing at all.
And do nothing except fall asleep because he hits his head on a rock. That's really good and dangerous. Like, and I remember when, well, we're not there. You want to go by the play-by-play? Because I'll go all over.
Yeah, well, we're doing a play-by-play, which that's all. So we start. First of all, what's up, Starface, and what's up, Pop Cotton? Dropping in. He says, "I didn't watch any of this, but it's not because it sounded stupid, and I like you guys. So I appreciate you coming in. We can help break it down for you if you'd like, because that's what we're doing right here.
I like it to Papa Cotton. He's a good guy.
It is very good.
Very good.
So it starts with a shot of Tatooine. Back to Tatooine, our favorite fucking planet in the universe, apparently.
Oh, man, wow.
I like the way that Mahler put it in one of his videos. They're basically saying like the way that it started in A New Hope was Tatooine was the place that Luke wanted to get away from. Like it's the furthest thing away from anything good, even when he wants to leave it. And that's like where we start our journey is on Tatooine, and then you got to go to the cooler planets in the galaxy afterward. But we keep on coming back to Tatooine. And that's just very annoying. Just on a pet peeve. Though, as I was talking with Angus earlier, it's like there are some good stories that can come out of it on that planet, but they're not usually telling it like that. Well, unfortunately,
my thing isn't quite cooperating with me. But it looks like right after that, if there is a Tatooine scene, I remember the Tatooine scene I was looking at looks like a recap. Boy, it is. My thing is wigging out here. But they're in the this freaking, I don't know, carrier, like a transport. All the people are in the transport.
I think we get to that in a second. I think it starts. Doesn't it start on Tatooine with Reva?
No, that maybe it does. It would be a real short scene. I can't. It's like when I use my remote here. I slide my finger. It's an Apple TV remote. If anybody out there knows what that's like, it is real twitchy. So you rub your finger across the top. That's all you do to go forward or backward. And I let my finger off, and it's still going 100% to the left or right, and just flying through the movie, and I can't stop it. It must be some Bluetooth signal issue. But anyway, it looks to me like in the beginning, we've got Luke with Uncle Owen going to like a parts place, maybe Talkie Station. I don't know. And the guy's like, "Oh, how you doing? Oh."
No, you cut out. Oh, you're at the how you doing thing right there. Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're back. Okay, cool.
Oh, did I miss? Okay. Anyway, Uncle Owen and Luke go to the place on
that's further. That's further ahead.
Is it? Because I'm.
Yeah. So no, I'll start the rundown so that we align it with the thing chronologically. So they're on Tatooine. We go to Tatooine. There's like some guy at a check stand trying to get some water, and some dude, like, I don't know, shoves him, and then Reva's there already.
That was later.
No, this was the first time we see them.
Oh,
she's on Tatooine right away. Okay. Essentially. Yeah. Oh, she's like, hey, I've got a problem. Where's Owen the farmer or something? Well, and then it cuts to the janky ship.
First, they show that big redneck who was pushing Obi-Wan around where he worked. And then Reva comes in and slaps the drink out of his hand like she's badass. Dude, is she supposed to have a freaking hole in her chest? Like the size of a lightsaber? Like, why is she walking around in a hood looking evil on a planet like no problem? I just hate that. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she just had an injury, it would be interesting to... It'd be nice if there was, acknowledged. They do have her limping around, I guess. Like, she is weakened in it, which is better than forgetting about it entirely. So that's okay, I guess. I mean, it's annoying, but I'll considering other stuff, I'll just, it's there. She's on Tatooine. What's more confusing is how she got to Tatooine so quick.
Of course, how did she get there
while being injured and doing that?
Yeah, she was on the ground crawling in the last episode when we saw her, and she found this thing, and suddenly she stood up, put on new clothes because these clothes are completely not burnt through the center. Yeah. I prefer if whoever made this realized that having her looking half blown away, or like we discussed this last time, if she just looked like someone really fucked her up good, because Vader would not leave anybody alive. He just would not do that. So okay, so already we're off to a bad start, and you're right, Tatooine.
Yeah, and then we go to the transport trying to get away from Vader's starship, and everything, Star Destroyer, and they're just trying to get away. And then he's like, no, you know what? I could get away from this and make it so that you guys can get your hyperdrive online and ready to go, which would be fine, I suppose. It just with this scene, it seems to be like they're trying to have drama with it, but it doesn't feel like it's earned, because he's like, oh, I gotta go, and she's like, no, don't go. And then the people that are on the ship as well, I don't remember most of their names, were like, yeah, you're supposed to stick with us. And it just, I understand what they're trying to do, but it just didn't feel like he has a connection with these people. It was just kind of there. But I do get what they're trying to do, because he's like, oh, you've helped Jedi for a long time, let me help you guys now. I do sort of appreciate that a little bit, but it's like it just feels hollow to me anyway with that.
There's no soul in it. Everyone had their own idea what they thought Star Wars needed to be, and they honed it in a lot better than they did in other shows and such, which was fine. But they're still missing the very small things that matter, the details, and they're missing good writing. The writing is mediocre at best. The directing is fine, but the writing is just really bad. I don't want Leia in this. I don't want Reva in this. I want Luke more, if possible, but that's not what we got. We got this, and every time I see Reva or I see Leia or a scene with somebody that shouldn't be on the screen together, in my mind, I just completely hate it. No matter how good the writing or directing is. You're right, they're on the transport and Vader's chasing them. So we're back to The Last Jedi, where a big Imperial thing with like 200 guns on it can't manage to hit a freaking transport.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm okay if they're on the run. I mean, they're chasing the Falcon before and unable to fully get it, I guess.
The Falcon
it's not impossible. It's just more, I guess to me, it's just more, I don't know, the whole events of the show, I think, could have happened differently to make this more impactful.
Ship in the galaxy, and it flew like an F-16, and like dodging shots left and right. This thing's just kind of cruising. Hopefully they don't hit us. We only have a bit of shields, and I'm thinking that thing has a hyperdrive, and of course it's broke. Like, it's broke again. We're gonna fix it, we hope. And then Broken, crushed ice. His name is Roken, but it sounds like broken. And he comes over and he's like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do this, and hyperdrive is gonna be finished soon, so cool. And he walks away. Obi-Wan follows him, right? And he says, hey, things aren't okay, are they? And he's like, well, actually, no, we don't know what we're gonna do. Now I'm paraphrasing. And he's like, well, I should go. It'll be me. And he's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. 2 scenes later, he's like, go get him, Obi-Wan. Yeah, you can do it. To me, if you watch the 2 scenes, I'm paraphrasing. If you get the exact script right, at first he's like, yeah, we're going to die. But then he's like, don't go, even though he knows that'll fix it. And then he's like at the end, all right, go for it, Obi-Wan. You're like, fuck you. Like, whatever. I don't know. If you watch the 2 for yourself, it really plays terribly. And maybe I pay too much attention, but it's just, I wanted it to be so good. I did want it to be good, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not ever going to like Star Wars again until it's George Lucas, but that'll never happen.
I don't know. With me, it's just, I don't know. I don't have much expectations for Star Wars in the future in general, but trying to give, little bits of credit where I can, but it's difficult more and more, it seems. Let's continue on, I suppose, with this, because there's not much happens with this little bit. I guess to me, it just seemed like false drama. Like the people are like, no, we're supposed to stick together. And he's like, no, but I got to go. And then, all right, that's the drama. The Inquisitor, I think the Grand Inquisitor did point out to Vader. He's like, well, why are we going to go after that one Jedi when we can like end this little movement over here that seems to be, it's been a thorn in our side for a while. And I guess,
yeah,
I guess that's something I'm okay with it a little bit. How he's like, no, Obi-Wan, I got to get Obi-Wan. I mean, I guess that's fine with me because, he's got a grudge with them. He freaking made him a torso, cut off his limbs and stuff, wants to get him if he can.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of makes no sense to me. Like I'm fine with that.
Since he's in charge. But I'll come back to the fact that he went after Obi-Wan a little later at the very end. But go ahead. Sorry.
Right. And then, honestly, what happens next, I kind of forget. Like Obi-Wan takes off in his ship, and Darth Vader pursues him.
Yeah.
I'm kind of forgetting what happens
right
between because we go back to Tatooine, right?
Yeah, that's when we see Luke, or we see Owen and Beru, and they're
that's when we go to that shop that you're saying that Owen and Luke are at, right?
Yes, and then Beru says, "What is it?" to him, and he says, "Come on inside, we got to talk," because he found out from another guy at the shop when he was leaving the shop that someone's looking for him. So he's told Beru, "I don't know. All I know is she's coming." And she's like, "Ben is gone. Whose fault is that?" But Beru here is taking control of the situation. He's ready to leave. She's like, "No, we're going to stand here and fight." And he's like, "No, we need help." She's like, "Well, I'm not putting anyone else in danger, Owen. We're enough, you and me, to fight off a Sith coming for Luke Skywalker." Then they get guns. She throws one in his face. And then she's like, she'll come when the 2 twin suns go down. Best we get our positions now. That scene plays pretty good to me. I really liked that scene because it felt like Star Wars-y. I'm about time I saw Beru do something, and that's fine. I don't care if they were just trying to include females, because that's what I think they were doing.
Yeah, I feel like if this was mostly within a time where they don't push that kind of thing all the time, it would play completely normal and nobody would bat an eye.
Correct.
So I'm okay with it in that sense too. And it's not like they made him a coward or anything. He was just like, oh, we get. I know we just have to get Luke safe away.
Well, we had to hear that the man was wrong, but that's okay. We're used to hearing that bullshit.
But I would say they're only lucky that the chick that's after them that has force powers is like super injured, I guess. Because if she was like full power, no. It would have been like, why'd you stay? It would have gone, they fire at her, she deflects the lasers, kills them, and then kills the boy or takes the boy or whatever. That's how it would have gone down if she wasn't like super injured. So
even an injured Sith going after a young boy like that, to me, who has the power of the Force, literally could just stop him from running away with the Force. You know, I don't know.
Well, there's quite a few sequences where I'm like, well, why didn't she just stab Owen, even though I know that he survives? But it's like when they were like grappling, I was like, yeah, you could have just stabbed him here, I guess. But you know, I know. But the problem is they created this situation. Like if she didn't have her lightsaber with her or something, maybe there'd be more of a reason for them to be able to win in a fight or something, or to hold her off well enough.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think having her on Tatooine at all is kind of ridiculous, but because it was also kind of pointless. It was like, what, to redeem yourself with Vader or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, justice.
Just seemed odd. Just seemed odd.
Well, we're not there yet, but we definitely see eye to eye there. I mean, it's hard not to see it already because that's the next scene that Beru and Owen and Luke are sort of in. But where it actually goes to is Obi-Wan that fake Jedi is talking to a little girl, and he stands up and walks out when Obi-Wan comes in, and he says, "I talked to her, you're welcome." And then he starts having a talk with Leia about him leaving. And so I don't know. She slips, we don't see it, but she slips the robot in his pocket. He takes off, and that's weird because I thought he just took off, but I guess not.
I guess this is when he takes off. I kind of forget what they specifically showed.
In
the order.
I
don't know, because the episode is maybe 50 minutes, but it felt like 20 minutes in a way. I don't know. This felt like the shortest one to me.
45. So yeah, that's what happened right there. I'm scrolling through it, and then he takes off. The Inquisitor's like, "Don't go that way." Then Kenobi, we show him landing.
Hold on, real quick. I think I've heard people comment, and this is what Angus and I said too. We're like, don't you guys have TIE fighters? You could have like sent it after one or the other of the ships.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw that Proper said something. He said he liked the fight. I did too. Up until the fart scene, I really liked it.
Well, let's break down the fight, I guess, a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, the Vader and Obi-Wan meet once again for the last time before the last time. And it's on a little planet where like the setting itself isn't like a bad planet. Oh, it just for a fight scene with them though, it's kind of like the last one they had where it's kind of, I don't know, dark. People like to shit on the Mustafar fight, but I don't know, that had like a huge spectacle aspect to it.
It was big screen stuff, maybe.
And it's good. Like I'm okay with things being close quarter and, you know, sometimes uneventful, but so much things that they show is uneventful that I wanted like a little bit of spice in the background to, you know, have some element of the field come to play, which they do actually. They do utilize the environment in some way.
It started really well. I think beautiful. The cinematography for the whole episode is out fucking standing. I love what I'm visually seeing. I'm taking it in, and I think it's just out. You know, the camera work, the CGI that they're putting in there is a little iffy, but for the most part, what I'm seeing looks really good. Vader's ship comes through the fog of the clouds, lands on the planet. The door opens. The bottom door opens. He comes walking down, and I'm expecting to hear the Darth Vader Imperial March or something. Like when he was walking up the steps with the 501st to go kill the younglings in Revenge of the Sith. Why am I not hearing that same thing? Because that right there, when that sound right there was mimicking what he did in Star Wars, the original trilogy, the sound, the you know, music. So without musical cues, it came off creepy, which works. That works. Like, you know, everything's quiet and creepy. So that worked. I
was okay with it being quiet.
Yeah, it worked. I wanted that, but like it worked. And he comes in, and then, you know, they have a little dialogue, which really works. The setup works. You know, what Obi-Wan said was great.
To me, I feel like there should have been. To me, I feel like if there was going to be more dialogue, there should have been at the start. I don't know. To me, the dialogue just felt like generic dialogue again.
It was generic feeling. It was okay though, because I was excited about the fight, but there was questions like, why wouldn't he say Anakin? We don't have to do this or something like that. Like the one from Clone Wars would have, like literally the animated Clone Wars, that Obi-Wan would have said more, I think, but he didn't. And it's
like in Revenge of the Sith. I don't think that he said that much either. When I think he should have, like what he says, he's just like, I guess you're bad now. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, we were cool like 3 hours ago, but okay.
Yeah, like I kind of wish there'd be a little bit effort of talking down, but that's why So the fight scene, a lot of people are saying that they like the fight scene itself. I mean, to me, I don't know. I guess it's more the camera work that I did not like with the fight scene.
A lot of shaky stuff.
Well, it wasn't just shaky. It's like they cut to like a weird bird's eye view for a good like 2 or 3 seconds that doesn't really show anything significant.
For the ground up or the sky down?
The sky down.
Oh, okay.
And is like, well, this angle just didn't really enhance anything or show anything. It just looks like little lights on the ground fighting, and then it goes back down a few times. And the way they cut, I don't know, just some of it just was a little iffy to me. And I do have some issues with camera work and some other lightsaber fights. It's not like I'm just dogging on this show with the camera angles or anything, right. But it's like, at least in Revenge of the Sith one, they let the actors move around and stuff, and not they do cut around sometimes, but I feel like there's a longer, like, you know, spaces between the cuts in those fights. This one was quite a lot of cuts to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fight was overall good, and you're right, there was some shoddy camera works. I don't like like in a lot of action movies, say like Transformers, they do some shaky fight scenes, and how dare you pay too much attention to how dare I put my mind in the movie? Why would I want to do that? But I get it. Yeah, man, you're right. Like, that's what they don't care about. Like, the details, they just don't care. The fight scene rocked. I will say the choreography was pretty cool. I don't know who they got to do it, but it looked like hell. Hayden Christensen and I can't remember Obi-Wan's name.
Ian McGregor.
Yeah, like those two could have made it up based on what they'd already learned, because it was very similar to how they fought before.
I was hoping there'd be a bigger difference in how they fought, honestly, because after 10 years and Vader being his Vader body and Obi-Wan, I don't know. I was kind of confused on how Obi-Wan is how he is. That also kind of bugged me. It was like,
and Vader was agile.
What was that?
Vader was very agile, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, I suppose that could be fine. Even though I assume he'd be more clunky or more grounded with it. I mean, I guess it's fine. Yeah. Obi-Wan, though, it's like, I don't like how earlier in the show they have it where he can't really use the Force very well and it seems very unskilled. And then, that's annoying. But then it's also annoying how they establish that. And then in this episode, he's like back to full form, if not higher.
Yeah.
It just seemed like there wasn't a connecting thread as to why he's able to be stronger now.
There wasn't a Rocky scene where he's training and, gets to the level of, that he needs to be.
It's something. Yeah, it's something. It's something that even in other material that I like I love Dragon Ball, and that show is all about training. However, there are some times where they kind of cheat to get a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And that bugs me too.
Sure.
When they do that, like they'll drink some super water and then they get a huge boost, or the Saiyans, when they get beaten down to like an inch of their life and then they heal, they get like a huge power boost. So they could be getting dominated, heal, and then dominate them. That kind of thing kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
And so that feels like with Obi-Wan, he was getting his ass kicked before. He got a Zenkai boost, and now he's stronger than Vader. And it's just like, I mean, I don't know. There wasn't any connective threads to the fight scene, and I don't know. Some of their movements, some of their stuff was fine. I agree, but some of it also felt odd, or how agile Vader was seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, man, he was very, very agile, which to me I was okay with. I thought, well, maybe it's his different suit, or whatever. I haven't looked at it closely. Man, could set up. That aside, I kept liking the fight until and the musical cues weren't there. Where were the musical cues? You need that for a lightsaber fight. Whoever did it did an okay job. I mean, I can't say it was great, but I can say it was okay. But I wanted great for this. This is something you need to be, 100% great. This is big time. And I think they fucked up on the music cues, because you finally get Obi-Wan buried under all that stone, right? And Vader leaves him for dead. Pretty cool scene, actually. I was digging.
Do you think that Vader should have said, "I have the high ground"?
I know. I thought that too. I think everyone must have thought that.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do it, but I did feel an inkling of, oh, would this have been a funny cringe meme if they did though?
It would have been totally cringe, but
Like
yeah,
that would have been a funny cringe if they did. I think I would have been okay. I think I would have let it go if he said, "I have the high ground now" or
bro.
something.
That's the meme.
It would have been bad writing, but that would have been funny.
Totally, you'll see that meme tonight somewhere. Like you'll see Vader standing above, and he'll say, "I have the high ground." You're gonna see that, I promise you.
Who is the high ground now?
Yes, it's got 10 million of those, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool. But then there's no musical cues when he's sitting there, thinking of all the people he cares about, which is predominantly Leia, and that's weird. And then he's getting stronger, but the music is just like still. He's buried. Dun, 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 dun. Like, what? You should be, it should be rising. The music should be rising to give you the idea that inside him something is rising.
Yeah, I think they could have matched the visuals with the feeling, and the music could have, enhanced it a little bit better. I'm okay with him thinking about Leia in an odd way, like because he spent I don't know how many days with her recently, and as far as Luke, he's never really interacted with him yet.
Sure.
So in that terms, I could say that that's fine. I suppose it's just that we know that Disney's pushing more for her than for Luke, which is annoying. But as far as narratively, as far as what they presented with all this, I think it follows that he would think of her.
Yes, you said it right. That's the problem, that we know if this is a forces female sort of situation, and we know that they're going to show women and females in every possible scene they can, even if it hurts the story, even if it hurts the other characters. And good God, I think that definitely played a part in me being annoyed. And I also wanted him to think about his responsibility was first to Luke, not to find Leia. There was a whole planet of people that could have looked for Leia.
Well, him wanting to even confront Vader should have been like, I could, if I get killed here, what's going to happen to Luke?
Right.
Like, and most of the decisions he makes kind of seems to be forgetting that he's, his survival is actually very important.
Yeah.
To all this,
Yeah. So he's buried, and he's like, well, my responsibilities are gone. I think of Leia. No, dude, you done fucked up a long time ago. If you're going to die here, you should have been, with Luke or looking for. That's my problem. Anyway, so then he shoots them all out. He jumps out. Like, I wanted to see him force jump. I guess they didn't have the, what do they call those things? Acrobatic wires that they use.
I mean, I'm okay if they show it. By this point, I just wanted the fight to be over anyway. So
yeah, bro, me too.
Whatever.
But you knew what was coming. Super powered Jedi.
Yeah, and then he starts literally damaging Vader in his suit and stuff, and
with big fucking boulders, man, like Rey style, like huge boulders, like didn't hurt him. He managed to just stop them all and break on him. And man, if you throw a boulder at me, I promise you, even if I have the Force, I'm not. It's like 20 of them. I'm not going to be able to break them before they hit me.
Again, sequence of events were a little weird, but that's normal in this show now, kind of with some of that.
Weird. Yeah, I know I'm probably complaining about something that looked cool to most people, but for me, I was in the physics of it. Like, that doesn't make sense. And
yeah, I mean, it reminded me of Star Wars Theory's fan film in a way, where like Vader's cornered by a bunch of the troopers for whatever reason. I forget what happened in this thing where they're all firing at him. Then he catches all their lasers with the Force and then fires it back. And like Obi-Wan's firing all these rocks at him and he's blocking it or something.
Yeah,
it reminded me of Star Wars Theory's little fan film.
That's that. Funny. I thought that too. I thought of that. Like, why didn't he just put his hand up and stop all the rocks from hitting him? Because I can't believe that he would be able to take that many rocks blasting onto his body. Like, it didn't even look like he was using the Force. They were just hitting him.
Rocks in the Star Wars universe are made of paper mache.
Oh, I forgot. Durr. I'm so silly. God.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's weird because in one aspect, I think that they should be using more Force stuff, but then in another way, I think they shouldn't. But I don't know. I guess it's weird because it's these two specifically, and the way that they decided to write them in this time period. I don't know what to think anymore.
I think it's they don't understand the Force because they think the Force is female. That's everyone's problem right there. Anyone who doesn't like the way they use the Force in the fight, well, that's because you don't understand. You have the male chromosome.
Totally. But so Vader gets sliced up a bit, and Obi-Wan does a nice vital blow to the head, sort of, or to the helmet anyway, and breaks it. Everybody kind of saw it coming that would happen, where you get to see part of Anakin underneath the Vader helmet there.
You rip the whole helmet off because you like I've seen them do this before somewhere. What was it? It was some other show. Oh, Ahsoka in
Rebels, yeah.
Is it Rebels?
Yeah, it did pretty much the same thing, just the other side of the helmet.
What the hell? Why would you do that? I mean, you did it already. And that's when they have that special talk because you can see his face. Okay, fine, it's fine. It's just not good, you know. And then then he's like, "I'm so sorry, Anakin, for all of it." And Anakin, he says, "It's not your fault, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did."
All right, tell them the timestamp again. I don't think everybody heard that before.
So, and right when he says, "You didn't kill Anakin," then you hear a fart, Skywalker. I did. And I think it's a timestamp 25:19. Yeah, that
when he's saying you didn't kill Anakin, when he says the word Anakin at the beginning of him saying Anakin, there's like a fart noise a little bit over the Anakin part, which in my head I thought it was like his like Darth Vader mic messing up or something, but it sounds more like a fart on a second listen. So
I think Hayden Christensen was in the middle of his best performance that day. They do take after take, right? And they love this take, and they probably said, "Oh yeah, he cut one. All right, well, what we'll do is we'll get it in post-production." Post-production came and they were like, "Well, we can't change his audio. It's in his audio." Oh, fuck it, leave it. Maybe they'll think it's his respirator or whatever. And they probably laughed pretty hard about it, but it's clearly there. Either someone with a mic on them farted.
Yeah, like seriously, I didn't believe Flip when he said that because I thought it was something else, but then I played it right before the stream. It sounds like a fart. It sounds like a fart as he's saying Anakin
Skywalker.
But regardless of that, I thought that scene, like where Obi-Wan's like, I'm sorry, Anakin. Like, I'm sorry. I was okay with that. That was the first scene in this entire show that I thought was like, I think that's all right. That's pretty good. It's all right.
I love
it. I'm glad that he apologizes in a way because it's like he's felt a lot of guilt this whole time and everything, and he sees what Anakin is and what he's doing. And it's just like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I didn't mean to. Sorry. And that's about it. And then it's like from there, he's like, you know what? You're Darth Vader now, I guess. That's Anakin is dead. Like Anakin is truly dead.
Yeah.
Like that was okay. Like that's the kind of thing that I'm okay that they did that.
Right. No,
it wasn't done socially in that moment.
It was good writing right there, or at least good acting with
like for once, to me, that was good dialogue.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is what you should say at this point, not you're dead forever, Anakin, huh? Or something. Like this was okay dialogue. He's just like, I'm sorry. And then you just look at him like, man, you're this weird husk of a person.
I think they went on dialoguehelp.com for that scene.
Maybe.
So they paid somebody to write that scene. It ain't the same guy or girl. But it was good. Yeah, that seems pretty cool. And I thought if in any other show, in any other movie, without all the characters that we don't need to see and better music, I felt like, wow, this is a cool scene. And the kid in me just wanted to hear every word of it. So I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, but what do you think? I kind of agree with Starface right here. He says if Kenobi really accepted that Darth Vader killed Anakin, he should have finished him off.
Exactly.
That is a weird moment. This is where they should have had. This is where they should have had the weird Force Awakens ground separates you moment, maybe,
right.
Something. Or if they were on the planet and it's like it's kind of unstable surface of some kind with acid vents or some shit. I don't know, and they could get separated. Like I could see that.
Or since Vader was losing, his troops come in firing, and
or he's got a backup plan of some kind. His robotics, fucking, I don't know, something. You're right. Something else could have happened to separate them.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's not just Obi-Wan walking away, because then it is kind of like, yep, I'm letting you waltz off now and continue whatever you do, and that's pretty bad. Angus and I were arguing a little bit about this where like he says, that if Obi-Wan killed Vader, then Alderaan would have been fine. I don't know about that still. I think a lot of the events of A New Hope would have still happened. Just there, I don't know what the balance to a Jedi would be at that point.
Well, I mean, you'd have the Grand Inquisitor who somehow lived. He'd take over the Vader position with. I imagine he'd be the very first, closest, the best thing that he'd use him anyway. Palpatine would use him anyway for a short while, I think, to go find whoever Vader was trying to track down. They'd get the scent that Luke is there, and you just have someone in place of Vader, and I don't know how that would play out.
I feel like there'd just be less emotional resonance to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that'd be a good what if for like Star Wars theory to look into, maybe to think about events like if Obi-Wan killed him at this point, what would happen?
That's what I thought Disney should have done from the beginning with all of this. Do what if?
Yeah, just do non for real stuff, but you can have interesting scenes in there, whether they're good or bad. It wouldn't matter as much, but if they're good, people will like it.
Yeah, I mean, there were what if comic books where Darth Vader wore this all white suit, and I think he was good, but he just looked like Darth Vader still, and he wore white. And like Luke was turned into a Sith, and Han Solo and Chewie weren't friends. It was really weird. But that's what if, they could have done.
Well, we're not finished yet, right? Isn't there? So we have to go back to Tatooine.
Oh God, this is what I'm tired of watching.
And we go to Reva, who attacks the Owen residence, and I'm glad that they at least in a way like have Owen and Beru like be competent.
Yeah,
but I still feel like if this were any other Sith or any other I feel like they also have plot on their side, because they're not supposed to die or be super duper injured by lightsaber or a blaster bolt or anything. It's like, well, because of that, that's also why they're not going to get hurt here, So it's like, they fire at her. She comes in, she can deflect a little bit, and I don't know, they throw something at her and they shoot at her, and she's like, my stomach still hurts, and then I forget the exact events that happened, but then I don't know if she like knocks Beru down or something, and then she gets in a fist fight with Owen, sort of like she has her lightsaber, but she doesn't really use it much.
Yeah.
But he like, I don't know, punches her in the gut where she was stabbed, which I'm glad that they kept the wound in continuity. Like they didn't totally forget about it, but it's still dumb that she's able to walk around and totally fine. Like she should be like, I mean, they showed what's her face get shot in The Mandalorian and then get healed up in the Book of Boba Fett. Like that took a lot out just to do that alone. And
over it.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then she brings Luke back like Anakin brought his mom back to, instead of when the suns were up, it's dark. You understand what you're trying to rhyme there?
Well, hold on. So no, it's so Luke gets away, but then she pursues him.
Right.
And I totally blanked on what happened. I thought Luke just like fell asleep. Like I totally forgot he hit his head, right?
I guess he didn't show it, but he fell down some rocks and he was asleep. So.
Okay, yeah, I just saw him asleep, and I'm like, what happened? I just didn't see him fall. If that was the case, and she's like, I'm gonna get him, but then she gets like flashback to Anakin killing younglings, and then it's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, we'll get back over that. We're almost there.
It's just like, man, I don't know. I hate that she's here. I hate that all this is happening. I kind of would have liked Owen and Beru to kill her.
That would have been so awesome. That would have
or maybe like dead. or like, or maybe she has like a gun and she's about to kill them, and then Luke, like, I don't know, knocks her on the head or something as a little kid. I don't know.
You know what this scene made me think? It made me think, why in the hell is her storyline in this fucking show? Like, she should have been dead, with Darth Vader. Vader would never leave someone alive. He randomly kills people all the time. And this person betrayed him. He knew they were going to betray him for like a year or so while he trained them, this person.
And then she wants to get revenge on Vader, but also kills a bunch of people relentlessly, more than the other Inquisitors.
Yeah. I mean, she's evil, but now she's good if she kills Vader. Bullshit. And then she just stop being evil.
This is the thing too. Even Vader, whom to like Luke was redeemed, like if he were to have survived and all that stuff, like there's no way he'd be like, oh yeah, you're redeemed, bro. Like everybody else would be like, no, you are going to pay for your crimes, or if you're not executed, you're going to be like in prison forever.
In that Sith prison box that, like, you know, they put prisoners in, like, remember Darth Maul was in one at the end of season 7.
It's like, just, you don't like, he wasn't redeemed.
Nope.
Even though he killed the Emperor, it's like, yeah, but you still kind of annihilated the Jedi and a bunch of other innocent people over 20 years.
Yo, man,
yeah,
it's like
you're still not a good guy, really.
Someone on death row, you know, like they've been evil their whole life. They're even evil when they're in the prison. But if they get to their dying moment, they're like, oh God, I am so sorry that I did all that. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, you're free to go, and here's a McDonald's coupon.
Yeah, McDonald's. Where did that come from?
I don't know. but yeah, so it's like they want us to care for Reva, and I thought she was going to get killed in this show. She isn't, so they are going to probably make a spinoff with her.
They are totally going to make a spinoff.
They said that. Oh no.
They are. Dude, oh my God. Well, just for Channel Starface, I do want to go over the fight between Baru and Owen and the girl fighter. So, what's her name? Reva. So she just all of a sudden shows up at the bottom of the house, or, you know, in that big old circle of cylinder, bottom of the cylinder in the desert, lights up her lightsaber, which immediately to me felt really stupid. There should not be a lightsaber at all. Like, because I kept thinking, beyond the fact that I didn't want to see her there, you know, that's weird. Don't do that. You know, maybe you lost the lightsaber. How the hell did you even get here? But fine. Then all of a sudden, Owen, who is literally 5 feet away, shoots at her and misses by 3 feet. And I was like, what?
He went to the same academy as the stormtroopers.
He must have. And then Baru opens up, and then all the deflecting of the lightsaber bolts, it was intense, and it got a little fun. Of course, she missed a few, and that's fine. But it looked like, to me, she was using her choreography like she didn't know they were really coming, because you're acting. So I think there was a couple of visual cues that didn't work. But overall, it was intense.
Yeah.
And then
it had the feeling of intensity and, and peril, even though we know they're going to live. Apparently, all 3 of them.
Of course. Right, apparently. I mean, you can't kill her, sure. But anyway, then, Owen's going up the stairs, and he kicks off the box of whatever to her, which she slices in half, it looks like. Baru is suddenly popping out firing, and she deflects a bolt directly back at where she was, so Baru hides again. Then she begins going into the garage, but you have to go across that plank to get to the garage, where later there will be a T-16 Skyhopper. But that's when they're fighting on a plank, and I thought, why are they fighting? It was a weird place, because if you're going to fight on a plank, you would think it would be super deep, like the danger is falling off. But if you fell off this, you just fall off like 5 feet. It just seems silly to me. Like, I don't know, like Mortal Kombat, your arena is the 5-foot drop. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they fight. He obviously gets his ass kicked because she's a Sith-ish thing, whatever.
But he does put up a fight, does injure her a bit, but she was injured already, so.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Good. I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just picking out all the crap from Disney.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I enjoyed that fight for what it was, but it shouldn't have been there.
I feel like it would have been more interesting if, like, she was dead from the last episode, and then like they have to defend Luke from, like, there's Tuskens, like, they maybe don't realize that Obi-Wan has kind of kept some dangers off you. Owen, like, didn't realize that Ben actually kind of kept him safe, from unwanted things like he never even saw. And then it's like, oh, either some Tuskens or some ruffians or some shit, or would go to farmhouses, but they've always left this farmhouse alone because Obi-Wan would always kick their asses or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, oh no, you got to defend it yourself. He's not here to protect you. And it's like, you got to defend your house, or they could kill you all, and your kid, or what. Even if they're not doing anything with the kid directly, it would still affect the kid. So it's like, you got to defend your house and show these two defend it. That would have been interesting to me.
Agree. Like what Owen said to Luke. That's exactly what it should have been. There were Tusken Raiders going home to home through the wasteland, the Judlin Wastes.
And even then, you could have Luke be involved in some way, like, kind of like how Anakin was good at doing some things when he was younger, have Luke be kind of good at doing some things and have him help out in his own little ways.
I don't know if they should have included Luke Skywalker, but
well, I mean, like if he like helped set up the, defense, or set a trap or something, that something, so that if you're gonna have him here, you had Leia in here when you didn't need her in here. Get him some here.
Give him some work other than running and screaming like a little girl.
Like he sets a little trap or something. Not everything has to be a reference to something he's done in the future. It can be just something he does here and is never referenced again because you're a kid at that point. So
Channel Starface is exactly every moment we had with Reva in the show was time we should have had with Owen and Beru having to defend Luke without Ben nearby.
Yes, that would have been interesting, and stakes, because it's like, wow, your guardian is gone. You gotta defend it yourself, and all the dangers of Tatooine starts. You get reminded, oh yeah, there's a lot of dangers around here. It's been pretty nice these last 10 years without having to deal with that.
You know what Disney's missing here? I think a great opportunity to reach out to the fandom and to. This is kind of fucked up, so just bear with me here. So in their next show that they do, whatever the hell it ends up being, they should choose 2 random Star Wars fan YouTubers, not these ones with 10,000 subs, who love Star Wars no matter what. Oh my God, I love it. There's a lightsaber. Holy fuck, jizzing. Not those guys. People in the, who love to talk about it, even if they don't have people watching their show. 5 subscribers, 20 subscribers, guys and girls who love it, and have them come and help them dictate how the scene should go. Help the writer. That's what they should do. Help the writer. Then help the director. And then once the show goes really good, they can just say, hey, yeah, we did it, and everything's cool. They can put that in their contract, an NDA, not non-disclosure agreement, NDA. But if it goes to shit in that NDA, the place can say, well, it's their fault because, and then we get mad at our own fandom. And that, if they're smart, that's what they do. And I don't think the fans would let us down. I mean, just some of the stuff I'm hearing from Channel Starface sounds like a much better, show. So.
Yeah, but I will say that sometimes fans like they make certain fan films. Some are great, some are not great.
True.
Some are very good. Again, I've seen a few that are like ultimate cringe. They're playing Star Wars music in scenes that don't make any sense for it. The drama is just not there. There's the fight choreography is awful. Everything is awful. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're horrible. So it's very mixed bag. You've been
doing a lot of fan film reviews lately.
Yeah, quite a few. Again, there's some that are fantastic. And there's just others that are like, no, this is comparably worse. This is comparably bad to the Disney stuff.
Who are some of the guests you've had on? I want our listeners to know that you're bringing on other creators.
For guests I've had for these fan film watches, I've had Josiah Rises. I've had that's OG Star Wars. I've had Dreaming Tabitha, Phil TMNT, Justin Proper. I just recorded one recently with Mary Mayhem and Decaffeinated Wolf, and also another one with Runner with Mortal Kombat. And I've had quite a few. I've had 11 total. I've had Angus. I've had Snowdub. I got more people lined up. I'm doing another recording tonight. Actually, nice. One of our fan film watches will go live in about 3 hours from now. Another one. That one was with Angelus Draven, and then after that, I'm going to record another one with OG Star Wars Girl. And just getting all these ones lined up still. There's like hundreds and hundreds of fan films.
Yeah, I love that you're doing these. So y'all out there, go to our channel and check out some of those fan film reviews that Rookie and other creators are doing. We've got a lot of them already that have already happened that need some, watch time. Something you might enjoy.
Hell yeah, exactly. Starface says, I'm a YouTube nobody, but would love to watch along if possible. Yeah, dude. There's plenty of ones that I can get. I'll put you down here, writing it down as a potential for a Star Wars fan film watch. It's pretty much like a watch party in a way. Yeah, but kind of EFAP style, because we pause it and comment and stuff. And I usually record them in private and then take them. I edit them a little bit and then upload them later, essentially. So there's a nice backlog of that stuff.
But we could do a watch along sometime. I'd be down with that. If I'm off the next day, I don't give a shit how late I'll stay up. I know you last night.
Yeah, I know you and I are gonna do some watch parties too with these, but I figured until your studying's done, like
Yes.
I figured that's when you'll have more time when that's done, and then we can do some.
I surely will. I surely will.
But anyway, I guess to wrap up the episode, they go to Alderaan, and Obi-Wan's there, and Leia's there, Organa's there, and Obi-Wan's like, he gives him a hug and stuff, and they're like, "This is cool. Call me if you need me." But in my head, I'm going, "Man, you gonna deal with this right next time, Organa? You fuck like you gonna be able to find somebody that isn't me? It's like, call me, but don't call me."
Yeah,
is what that should kind of be. And and also the Empire should be arresting Organa by now. Would be something. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Sidious, the Emperor, makes a small cameo. He's like, "Are you, still, you have too much feelings about your old master?" And he's like, "He means nothing to me anymore." And it's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. It still seemed a little abrupt, but all right.
Yeah, no, that's the scene I was talking about the beginning. So remember when, just to take you back just a little bit, where the Grand Inquisitor is telling Vader to go straight and keep on the mission, and Vader's like, "No, we will go for Kenobi." And the Vader's like, I mean, the Grand Inquisitor's face is like, "Okay, I'm not gonna mess with you." And so they do, but right there, he showed his obsession with Kenobi, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then you get to the scene with Ian McDermott as Palpatine, which was a surprise to me. I thought that was very cool. But what he says to me doesn't quite match up with what I think the Emperor would have said. I
think he'd love to have Kenobi captured or something.
Yeah, but he doesn't say anything. He's just making sure that he doesn't want to go to the light side again. Like, it's like, I don't feel like that's what his worry would be.
I thought it was just he was worried that Vader isn't as focused on what he wants to do with the Empire, and was just going on this dog chase.
Yeah,
but you're right. The way that he says your feelings is like he's had none of this showed that he's sympathetic.
Yeah, like, and then he had to respond. He means nothing to me. Like,
I would have preferred. You know what? I kind of would have liked this to be more open ended, where it's like, even if Sidious was like, if there's a way we could get Obi-Wan, that would be interesting. Like if Sidious was like, "Hey, Obi-Wan's alive. What if we could, push his buttons the right way, get him kind of toward the darky path a bit or something?" Would have been at least be a more interesting end to the show instead of, you're gonna leave him alone, right? Yeah, okay.
He knows he's not going to leave him alone. That's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like,
it's like when we go into New Hope, he seems surprised, like, "Oh, you're here. Yeah, I remember you're alive. Cool." But like there wasn't interest in him. He's like, "I haven't felt it for a while."
I have a good line for you. "Years ago, you served my fathers in the Clone Wars, and now I beg you for your help."
Yeah,
that's
a weird line now.
Leia doesn't know who the fuck he is. But call me. What the hell?
Yeah, it's like so people say, "Oh, that's not a problem." Well, it kind of is in a way as far as the wording. It doesn't make sense. It's like if I were to be, it's the kind of thing where if I were like, if I were to somehow contact Angus or something and be like, "You and Flip served together in the collective a long time ago, and now I need your help" or something. It'd be as if I don't know who you are very much.
Yeah.
Flip, but it's like, no, I do. I fucking do know you.
You remember that guy? Yeah. 2 days ago. Oh, right.
Yeah, as to where it's like you think that if with this context, it would be, Obi-Wan, that cool warrior guy that helped save me and the other people from back then. Yeah, he's our only chance. It would have nothing to do with her father at that point.
Right, they're on a first name basis. It would be here's the way the dialogue would go in that video captured hologram, like that R2 pushes out for Luke. It would go, "Ben, it's Leia. I need your help." I mean, getting stormtroopers and Vader is coming into her ship. She'd be straightforward about, "Years ago, you served my father in the Clone Wars." Like, what?
Starface brings up another point. Leia didn't give a shit about Kenobi's death in A New Hope. You'd think with what they establish here, she would have been like, "Oh man, he died."
Right.
When I was a kid, I really liked him.
Yeah. These people don't like Star Wars. They're just trying to figure out what we like about it. and they hit some good notes in their little ensemble, but ultimately the underlying bit of it is just turds. So you got turds with icing all over it, and if that's what people like, that's what people like. But it's a giant turd cake with delicious icing on top, begging you to eat more. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty negative, but I want Star Wars, damn it.
Yeah. And this is the last time you'll see Alderaan, probably, I guess, unless they make another show.
You mean season 2 of Kenobi?
That'd be funny if Organa's like, hey, in about 10 years, why don't you come here for a picnic? Sure. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, and Reva will be even more powerful as a she was nice enough, but now she went evil again because they love her as evil. I don't know. And then Vader, I mean, not Vader, but Obi-Wan has to fight Reva again, and or what?
It'd be where she has to save him or something.
Oh yeah, because he's a man.
More than likely, yeah. But I think that about wraps up our thoughts here on that. Sure. Yeah, anything else, Flip?
Not really. I see where they were going with it, and as a fan, with my head turned off, you know, I did like the icing on top. I enjoyed it very much, just like everybody. I'm just a more detail-oriented person. Like I feel like as a logical engineer head type person that wants to know how things work and why they work, and I don't understand the way this works at all. But it's like a sloppily thrown together puzzle. The pieces fit because they were made to fit. And I wish they understood Star Wars, and I guess I'll never get that. But I'll continue to watch the garbage that they put out.
Well, you cut out. You said I'd continue to watch the garbage. That's where you cut out.
I'll continue to watch the garbage, maybe, for you guys, so that you don't have to watch it. But I don't even know if I'll watch anymore.
Well, it's just to me, it's fun to have discussions, and if they manage to do something well, it's fun to see what they manage to do well and what they do poorly.
Well, it gives us a chance to talk and complain.
Yeah, Low Spec says when they do hit it, it's a glancing blow at best, not even a flesh wound. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a shame people are praising this mediocrity. Yeah, I mean, I can see this hitting a lot of people in the feels.
Yep.
In the feely bits, but to me, with me, it's difficult to feel those when I don't think that they logically arrived there. Like, you know, if you were to just have somebody like a character say, "Oh, I don't like you," and then 2 minutes later go, "No, but I love you now," I'd be like, "Well, if you liked that, that's neat, but I don't follow how that got there. I want the line, I want A to go to B, and have that make sense."
Yeah, what was the transition dialogue? Like, there was no transition dialogue. Like, same thing with Kenobi going from "I don't have any force powers, I've lost the force" to immediately powerful.
Yeah, that's one example. There's also another one that's literally like in the same sentence or the same like line of speech where this guy's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to help you, Obi-Wan. I lost somebody before too, and it was pretty bad. So I guess I'll help you." Huh? It's like, how did you get to that? That you didn't? What?
Yeah.
You put the square peg in the circle hole. What?
Mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. We live in a clown world, sir. Absolute clown world.
Yeah.
And the worst part is they attacked our pop culture first, and every franchise is getting it. Now, what they are doing right is trying. They are trying. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they only have like 40 shows announced. You know.
Yeah. Oh, this one about. I can't remember his name. He was in Rogue One, the Mexican dude. Cassian. He's literally from Mexico, so I'm not being rude. I'm just saying that he is from Mexico. But yeah, so they're going to have that show, which without lightsabers and without, I'm tired of shows with don't have lightsabers. Like, we finally get one, and personally, I feel like they did an okay job with some of the choreography. Episode 3, that was tremendously mediocre. Like, it was terrible. That fight scene in the middle of the desert trash place, you know what I'm talking about? Where he first finds Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was so non-dramatic. They wanted it to be epic, but that was completely missing. There was no epicness at all. So when I did see this last one, I was like, oh, okay. Yes, the previous one, episode, what was it? 5. That was pretty cool. I mean, go watch our other review of that, but it also fell short. And then this one, they had pretty good choreography. What I'd really like to see, brother, is if they just did something different with none of the characters at all that we know. Just anything but who we know.
At this point, I'd rather see that Rock character.
Geode.
See if they can make me care about a Rock, then that'd be impressive.
That would be impressive. I think I'm too old for caring.
Like I said, I think there's a way you could do that. Have a little Rock family, and then have somebody destroy those, and then it's like, oh, already, it's like, oh, his family's dead. You know? Oh man, the character, the emotion.
Well, I have a Rock Jedi.
Yeah, it's like Geode or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that about wraps it up here. I'm glad this was a short-lived show. That felt way, way, way shorter than Book of Boba Fett.
It was stressful. It was stressful. Please get it right. This is the stress I kept having.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if they go based on what fans think, they're never going to get it right because there's like a gajillion different perspectives and, you know, what fans want or think they want. And then George Lucas and all these things. It's like even Lucas sometimes contradicted himself here and there.
Yeah,
on little things. So it's tough to have that as the baseline entirely. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I say you should have Lucas as a consultant on every single show.
Yeah, I think a consultant would be nice, but I feel like the man himself would just rather not.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on that. Like I haven't seen a lot of him talking about it, but what I have seen of him talking about it, he was pissed. And so maybe he would do it. And I know he came back for The Mandalorian and did some consulting. So I think it's in his heart. He really wants to, but he hates Disney and the people and what he chose.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't so drained, then he'd be more for it. But he's just gonna chill the rest of his life. So.
Yeah, I think he's got some anger about it for sure. But yeah, I think you're right, man.
But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Channel Starface, Low Spec, CJH, Justin Proper, RevKev popped by for a little bit. Who else we had? George Lucas popped by, of course.
Yeah, great.
Papa Cotton and Runner. Everybody, thank y'all for coming by.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm watching The Boys with Angus and stuff. We'll probably do like a one stream to comment on those. Have you been watching The Boys?
Oh, I forgot it came out. I need to. Yeah.
It might be a good refresher or like a good cleanser after this.
Clean the palate.
Yeah, palate cleanser. Anyway, have a good one, guys.